Crouse.
Eli, played by Denzel Washington, is a regular post-apocalyptic man. He walks the earth, heading west, stopping only occasionally to read his book, dine on a meal of hairless cat, try on some dead man's shoes, and rain bloody carnage down on anyone who tries to stop him from enjoying his simple pleasures. Like The Road, another film about a man making his way through a dystopian world, in the Book of Eli we never find out how the world ended. We're told it's been 30 years since The Flash, and since then everything has pretty much fallen apart. Rogue gangs roam the desolate landscape. Cannibalism is rampant. You can tell the cannibals because their hands shake from eating too much human flesh, and there's only small pockets of life left here and there. One such pocket is a town run by Carnegie, played by Gary Oldman, a despot desperate to lay his hands on Ellie's prized possession, and that is a book. As the title would suggest, the Book of Eli is very Old Testament. Call it neo-Christian post-apocalyptic if you like, but like the good book that lies at the center of the story, the movie is full of prophets, morals, and righteous smiting. This is a metaphysical story with a few action scenes, but only a few. The trailer implies that this is an all-out action flick, and that is simply not the case. But it's about the power of religion to both inspire and control people's hearts. Now, Eli uses a book, and here's a great big spoiler, it's the last copy of the Bible. Okay, that's the end of the spoilers. Eli uses the book as comfort and a reason to stay alive. Perhaps he's a prophet, perhaps not, but he is the keeper of the book, and that's a responsibility that he takes very seriously. Carnegie, on the other hand, understands the power of the book's words to, as he says, strike fear into the, quote, hearts of the weak and desperate. For him, it is the key to complete control of the citizens of his town. He is very likely a Republican. Bringing this world to, well, it's not exactly vivid life. It's shot with a color palette that includes gray and various other shades of gray, is Washington and Oldman. Now, Denzel is a bit too subdued to really sell the idea that he's a coiled spring of righteous power, but that's okay because Gary Oldman keeps things lively, chewing the scenery every time he's on screen. He's a Jim Jones character, equal parts charisma and menace, and the film really benefits from his presence. Unfortunately, the same really can't be said for the female leads. As mother and daughter, Jennifer Beals and Mila Kunis are the film's acting Achilles heel. Kunis, in particular, is really miscast. Despite providing some visual interest, she is out of her depth here and brings little of the charm or charisma or magnetism that she displayed in last year's Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Better is Tom Waits in an awesome cameo as the shopkeeper who trades in contraband like KFC wet naps and old Zippo lighters. These items take on an increased value in this bleak world, and Waits, with his craggy face and scorched vocal cords, brings increased value to his brief scenes. The Book of Eli is a really strange movie. It's being sold as an actioner, but is actually a timely movie about how religion can be used for both good and evil, and it may have been more effective with a bit more action and a tad less philosophy and without its series of false endings, and while it may be filled with thought-provoking ideas, it doesn't feel well enough thought out enough to work completely as a whole.
Crouse.